Hello, hello, it's Julie Davison from juliedavison.com. Welcome to Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. If you're new or first-time watcher, I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and going on 20 years. I can hardly believe that. I live in Champaign, Illinois, which is right kind of in the middle, East Central Illinois in the Midwest of the United States. And, I don't know. What else do you want to know? Let's have it be Ask Julie a Question night. I think sometimes I forget about the introduction every week because I just assume everyone's been watching. But if you're a newer watcher, newer fan, leave me a question. Let me know. I'd be happy to answer. I have 4 kids and they keep us really busy with their after-school activities. Hi, everybody. I'm so glad to see you jumping on. I'm sorry I'm running late tonight. I got a little bit of a headache, and I'm just like, I'm feeling kind of stuck, actually. Sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes I don't have the mojo, and tonight is one of those nights. Actually, I have been spending the day designing projects for an online class. It's been a couple months since we had one because of the holidays and everything was busy, and so I'm trying to get back to it. So all day long, I've been designing with the Daffodil Daydream stamp set. Let's see, I think I have it right here. Yeah, check that out. It has a coordinating designer paper, and we're going to make a card, not one for the class, but just an extra card using the Daffodil Daydream tonight. But before we do that, I want to do a card with the brand new Here Together. And if you're watching on YouTube, you've probably seen Sunday Stamping. Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie is the video series I do every week with my mom, Susan LaCroix. And we showcase new products every week on Sunday at noon Central Time. So if you haven't watched that, be sure to tune in. So the last episode, we showed you the Here Together bundle, which is part of the All Together, what's it called? Yeah, All Together collection. So this is an exclusive stamp set and bundle or die bundle plus the designer paper to help launch the Natural Tones Stampin Blends collection. The stamp set and dies are limited availability. The dies only while supplies last, and the stamp set until May 2nd, and the designer paper as well. It will only be available until May 2nd, which I know sounds like a long time from now, but holy macaroni. Did January just fly by or what? May 2nd is going to be here in no time. February, March, April. So that's, yeah, like 3 months. So it's going to go really fast. But definitely the dies are limited edition. So if you're really loving those dies, then make sure to get your order in right now. I know several of you have already. I'll put the link for this in the video description. This is the Natural Tones Stampin Blend color chart. And I filled this in myself, so you can print it. I printed it on basic white cardstock, and then I wrote in the numbers, and I colored each one. So these are the new Natural Tones Stampin Blends. I love that we have just so many different shades of skin tones and natural tones, not just for skin, but all kinds of things that you might color. And before we just had the ivory and the bronze, and so I love just having all those different tones. So I'm going to make a card using the bundle and the Stampin' Blends, and I have cut apart some designer paper. Now, if you're a team member and you're watching, you may recognize these pieces. Last night we did a mystery stamping with my upline Kim Peck, and so she designed a mystery stamping project for us. And I am going to make the card that I made last night, but I'm going to use a different color card base, and then I'll show you the one I made last night as well. So I cut some pieces from this black and white All Together designer paper. This is a 6x6 paper pack, so there's 4 each of 12 double-sided designs. I'm not sure if this is all of them, but we've got black and white designs, which do include some of these hand images, as well as just some fun black and white patterns, which can be used for anything. And some of these are really great for coloring with other colors of Stampin' Blends. So I've cut some pieces here, and let me show you some other cards. Here's one that clear colored for me using the new Natural Tone Blends. And then I made this one during the Sunday stamping video, this off-center Z-fold card. This is part of the die cut, You Matter, and then I colored the hands. So tonight we are going to use the Pinky Promise stamp, and I think we're in this together. I love that sentiment. Okay, so here's where I need your help. I need your help deciding what color card base to use. Because the paper is black and white, I could do any color card base. So leave a comment and let me know what is your favorite color to put with black and white. So on this one I've got red, on this one I've got blue. Maybe I should give you some options. Let's see, I was thinking we could do something like maybe Highland Heather, or what about Lovely Lipstick? That's really pretty. How about, maybe we need a green. What about Granny Apple Green? Okay, so leave a comment, let me know, purple, pink, or green. The sample that I'm going to show you uses yellow, so we've kind of covered that base, and we already have a blue sample with the designer paper, that one. So let me know what you think. Meanwhile, I am going to stamp our hands and color them in. So I'm using Memento Black ink. This is the color, or this is the kind of ink that you want to use when you're using Stampin' Blends. So Stampin' Blends are alcohol markers, and you want to use, this is like a hybrid ink, I think, right? It's a fade resistant dye ink. Oh man, I pushed too hard and I got some extra ink. Let's try that again. That's better. Actually quite perfect, if I do say so myself. So I'm going to color these in now with my Stampin' Blends. I've got them in this Tupperware container for now, but I just remembered I need to order some more of those, the Stampin' storage containers. We have some that fit ink pads, some that fit Stampin' Blends, and then some open kind of containers. Stampin' storage. Oh my gosh, I need some lotion on my hands. Blends. Okay. All right, so let's look at our chart and figure out what color we want to use to color. I think I used 500 on my other card. I'll do 800. So the numbers are just an indication of where they fall on the light to dark. I've got my ivory and bronze mixed in here too. That's another combination that is available to purchase in the Stampin' Blends. And I can't think while I'm looking through these. Okay, so the numbers right there, SU 400, and they just go from light to dark. Okay, so like 1000 is the, well, see, it's hard to say it's lightest because it is very pink as opposed to, you know, some of these other colors. So they're paired up. You can get them in pairs, and it's just the next color next to it. So they're not necessarily colors that are related, but just colors that, you know, they're just the numbers right next to each other. So you can get them in pairs. So this would be 800 would go with 700. Or you can get the whole collection, all the colors. One thing I am noticing, and I forgot about this, when you use the Stampin' Blends, sometimes they bleed through. And so you can see that line from this image coming through the white cardstock. So I'm actually going to stamp this again. I don't want those lines coming through. Did we have this problem last week? I didn't learn my lesson. Okay. So let's start again. Now we won't have those lines. And I'm going to leave her nail polish Look, I just assume it's girls' hands. They could be guys' hands. I'm going to leave the nails, I'm going to leave them blank for nail polish, and we'll coordinate the nail polish with our card base. Okay, you know what? I was just thinking it would be really helpful. Can I have a volunteer to look at the comments and add up kind of where we're at with the colors? That might be easier than me trying to go back and count. So if we have a volunteer that could do that, that would be very helpful. And then you could just let me know which one is the winner. Thank you in advance. You guys are always so awesome. I hope you're having a good day. I see a lot of you are jumping on, and if you're just joining, I was saying I've just kind of had a headache today. I'm not feeling good, so I mean, I'm feeling okay. I'm just tired, and this winter weather just I'm over it. The kids went out and shoveled, though. They did such a good job. I went back with the same color. So normally we use like light and dark shades of the same color, but I just kind of went back with the same one and added, you know, an extra line around some of the edges, and that will help me get the different tones. Okay, now we're going to die cut because this stamp set has coordinating dies, and you want to make sure that you get those dies early because there is a chance that they will sell out. They are limited edition. Oops, there it is. Oh, I'm just dropping things all over the place. I'll put the item numbers for everything in the video description when we're all done. So if you're interested in getting the All Together collection, you can check that out in my online store at juliedavison.com/shop. Okay, yes, hello, Michelle. She says she's from cold and snowy Ohio. I don't know what our snow snowfall has been here in central Illinois. I think less than they expected. It's so hard to tell because of the snow drifts. Like there's an area in our backyard where I can see the grass, and then right next to it, the snow is 2 feet deep. So maybe if you average those together, we've had a foot of snow. I don't know. That seems like a little much. I'm not sure that it's been but the piles on the side of the driveway are many feet, several feet deep now. Oh, 11 inches so far, Michelle. Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully everybody is safe. Who I know many of you, this storm is huge, so I know many of you are dealing with all this snow, and I hope that you're staying safe and warm inside and that you have power and all that good stuff. Okay, Eva says 12 inches, and she lives in my town, so that sounds about right to me. Okay, Tony says 6 green, 9 pink, and 10 purple. So I think purple is the winner. Thank you, Tony, for counting those up, because we have just completed our die cutting of the hands. So let's put the die away before we lose it. I've already lost it. We're going to get out some purple Stampin' Blends to color the nail polish. So this is Highland Heather. Nope, that's fresh for you. This one is Highland Heather. It's going to do a little color. I love that. While I have this out, I'm also going to color some of the hearts. And I just want to customize this black and white designer paper to coordinate with my card base and project, kind of tie that purple in because all the designer paper is black and white. So I like when I am using a color in a card, I try to introduce and use it in more than one way, in more than one place. So by having the card base kind of tie in with some of these images, we'll kind of bring that purple in, and it won't seem so random. Okay, to make our card base, we're just going to cut in half. And I always use the scoring blade on my paper cutter. But I don't know, do you guys do that too? Whenever I make a card, I always score it first. And you really can make a card without scoring, but I find it just helps to get a nice, good crease. You can also use your bone folder when you're folding to also get a good crease. I tend not to use the bone folder as much as I do the scoring. So leave a comment, let me know if you're a scorer. Okay, so we've got all these pieces and I'll put the measurements in the video description. The heart piece is 1.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And then the large square of designer paper is 2.5 by 2.5. And the smaller square is 2 inches by 2 inches. Oh, I'm seeing some of your answers come through that you do score because you see me score all the time. So I'm glad. I think it's a good habit to get into. And Jennifer says, does the designer paper in this collection come in 12 by 12 or 6 by 6? That's a great question. This designer paper is 6 by 6. So you get 4 each of 12 different patterns. And some of them, like these two, are kind of designed, like this one is designed to be cut into quarters or 3 by 3 pieces. And this one is designed to be cut in half. And then you could cut it again if you want, or you could use it as a border across your card. Okay, so our card is coming together. I'm going to put this paper away, try to tidy up here. I'm going to now, I've got this circle. I die cut this ahead of time. This is from the Layering Circles. And I also have a strip of cardstock that is 1 by like 3.5 inches. Whoa, that was loud. Sorry. I don't need it to be super long, so I'm gonna punch. I'm gonna punch the ends here. I'm using the Everyday Label Punch, and I just want to make a decorative end on here. So I'm gonna put it through from the inside and just punch in the middle so that I get sort of that fun end. So that's another way to use your punches if you want to have fun decorative labels. And I think I'm gonna go right around there. I could stamp my greeting first so I know exactly how much space, but I'm lazy. The sentiment I'm using is, we'll get through this together. And I'm going to stamp this right in the middle. And we'll just layer these on the card. Now, one of the things I used on my card last night was these Playing with Pattern resin dots, and I use this to embellish the card. The colors in here are Coastal Cabana, Crushed Curry, and then, or maybe Daffodil Delight, and then this one is Purple Posy, and that's kind of close to Highland Heather, but it's a lot lighter, so I'm actually going to use that Highland Heather marker. I'm going to let's get out the dark one, and I'm going to color with the Stampin' Blends over these resin dots, and that will make them darker to better match the Highland Heather. So it does dry a little bit light, and then just set it aside so that it can dry while I'm gluing the card together. Okay, so the mystery stamping is so much fun, and Kim is doing this with our team every single month. I love mystery stamping because it sort of breaks me out of my comfort zone. So what happens is Kim gave us all the measurements of things to cut, and then she told us one piece at a time where to put them. So I'm actually going to move this. She had it down up here by the fold, and I'm going to actually put it down low this time. And you'll see the difference when I show you the other card, and you can decide which way you like it. I think that's the fun thing about mystery stamping, is just following her directions makes me maybe do things a little bit differently than I might normally have done them. So next up, I'm going to do the large square. Oh my goodness. I just saw Janet's comment about how it's 80s today and sunny. Janet. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm happy for you that you don't have to deal with with the snow, but I'm jealous, I guess. I wish that I also was not having to be where it is cold and snowy. All right, I'm gluing these down and just layering these squares. And then I'm going to add the circle. Ooh, I like this. Okay, which is so funny for me to say because I just made the same card. Oh, hi, Jenny. I'm so glad you're here. Sometimes it's so hard for me to keep up with your comments. And I did ask you to ask me questions earlier. And so if you've asked a question and I missed it, you can either ask again and I'll try to watch for it, or I will definitely answer it after we're all done with the Facebook Live. So I apologize in advance if I miss your question, but sometimes it's just hard to keep up with that. So I'm going to do some dimensionals on here. I added the circle already with Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm also going to add the hands with Stampin' Dimensionals as well. So I'm going to have the hands kind of be coming off, and then the sentiment over here off the circle. All right, that looks about where I want it to go. I hope our little embellishments are dry. I'm going to pick them up and transfer them over here. And we always do embellishments in threes. So I've got 3 that I'm going to transfer over there. There's our finished card. Are you guys ready to see the one I made last night? I used crushed curry. So the difference is, besides the color, of course, I have the purple card base and the yellow, and then I did the hearts at the bottom and the hearts at the top. And you know what? I actually think that I like the hearts at the top better. I thought I would like the hearts at the bottom, but I don't know. I also see that I made the stripes go a different direction, and so I'm just going to change that really quick because I do think I like them better this way. So let's just change that really quick. I was struggling with the way that it was going across, and I think this makes my problem go away. So just gonna flip that really quick. Okay, tell me, this or that, purple or yellow, which of the cards do you prefer? I'm trying to make sense of your comment, Dana. It's funny how you have a plain old piece of paper and we still turn them over to do adhesive. Does that make sense? I'm not sure I understand. Oh, Janice, I wish you could see the other cards. So in my team group, we shared all the cards. Everyone used the same measurements, but made, had different designer paper prepared. And so we had some really beautiful cards using different stamp sets and designer paper, and they all turned out so fun. That's what I love about mystery stamping, is seeing how all the cards turn out. So maybe we'll have to try some mystery stamping. I know it's been a while since we've done mystery stamping, and honestly, part of it is because I don't plan well enough for for my Facebook Live sometimes. So I need to plan in advance and give you a list of materials so that you can be ready. So we'll try that. How about that? We'll try that. We'll try that sometime soon, some mystery stamping. You guys are so funny. Some of you are choosing this or that, and some of you can't decide, and so you're just saying both. Oh, yes, I understand now. Melissa said the black circle was blank, but you turned it over to add adhesive. Okay, so there's a reason for that, and that's because when you die cut, there is kind of like a front and a back. So actually, I think I used the back side of this. Let me show you really quick. It might be hard to see well, you're going to be able to see it better with a scallop circle. So let's try that. I'm going to get the die cutting machine out, little loosey, and let me show you how there's a front and a back, which seems like it's silly to say that there's a front and a back, because you're right, it is blank, or rather the same color on both sides. But when you die cut, there's like a finished edge on top. Okay, so here that cardstock is like rounded down. And then when you flip it over, first of all, you can sometimes see the cut marks transfer to the die cut, to the cardstock. So I don't know how you can see that, but it's got some texture on there. And then it's like the back side. So it's kind of like, not necessarily rough, but just this kind of is smoother going down, and this is got that, like that lip going that way. So anyway, that is why I turned it over, because especially for a die cut, I do feel like there is a front and a back. And even sometimes with the paper cutter, you have maybe like a cut mark, although sometimes I use the other side of the paper, so it's not as significant as the front and back. Okay, that was our first card. A peanut butter cup. What looks like, Heather says, am I the only one that thinks that it looks like a peanut butter cup? I'm not sure what looks like a peanut butter cup. But now I'm hungry for a peanut butter cup. Okay, so that is the All Together collection. I just am really digging this, especially like this stamp. My girls always do that with their heart, their hands. They make the heart with their hands. But I just love having the variety of the skin tone Natural Blends markers. So, okay, that was the first card. Next up, I don't really have a plan. We're winging it. Sometimes this is what I do when I create. And so I think maybe I should show you kind of this. So sometimes when I'm creating, I go through the catalog. Let me show you. I'm going to bring out the catalog and show you kind of what I do. And I make a sketch. Okay, so these are actually not cards from the catalog. These are other cards that I had pictures of that I've made before and loved the layout. But let me show you a card. Oh, actually, like here's one that I was looking at today, because I realized for the first time that this designer paper you can stamp on. Let me show you. I think I have the paper here. I love it when Stampin' Up! Does this, and I'm not making this card necessarily right now, but I just wanted to show you since we're here. Okay, so this is the Artfully Composed designer paper. Really beautiful colors with all the leaves, but this pattern in particular is what I noticed that they used for this card. And so they actually have stamped on the card. They stamped the detail on the leaf, and they stamped the inside of the leaf there. I don't know, maybe we should just make this card. Let me finish my thought. I was showing you how I sketch it. So I really like this layout. So if I wanted to copy it, I might draw it out like this. It's a horizontal card base, and then there's a big circle for the sentiment, and then we have some strips of vellum and designer paper. And then I would probably draw like a little bow. It's very like sloppy. But then when I go to make my projects, I sit with the notebook like this, and I think, okay, I really love this layout. How might I use it? What stamp set, might fit this shape? And so it helps me to think outside of the Artfully Composed designer paper, right? Like if I was only looking at the catalog, I would think, okay, let's get out that designer paper and let's make this card. But when I sketch it out and look at it later, apart from the catalog, now I can, just think, okay, what designer paper do I have? What card do I need to create today? And then I can kind of have an idea that is not locked in to whatever colors stamp set paper I saw it originally in. I'm looking for, on my desk, I had a piece that was stamped and die cut of the daffodils. I even showed you. Oh, there it is. So we'll come back to the Artfully Composed because I'm on a little tangent. Okay, so this was a card layout that I really liked. And actually this was embossed cardstock, and this was a die cut tie or something like that on the original card. And I had this left over from the designs that I was working on today for the Daffodil Afternoon card class. Stay tuned for details. And so I thought, well, I'm just going to use this to make a card. And I really like this layout. So I'm going to pull out the designer paper that coordinates with this bundle. So this is the Daffodil Afternoon designer paper, and this is a free gift that you can choose during Sale-a-Bration. So Sale-a-Bration is our twice yearly, twice annual promotion where you can choose free gifts for every $50 that you order. So here's the Daffodil Afternoon designer paper. It is really bright and beautiful with this bumblebee color and the black. I think it's really unusual. We had another paper last year with a black like base, and sometimes it's hard because, especially with a theme like daffodils that is very springy, black is sometimes a hard color, I think, to incorporate into your design. But I kind of like it. We also, though, have really springy colors like the Pale Papaya and Flirty Flamingo. And so I am going to take some patterns. Oh, that's pretty. I think I'm going to use the striped piece. And we're going to add a card base. That is Flirty Flamingo, but that I have one cut from my designs from earlier. And we also need a strip for the greetings. So let's do, I want to bring in that Pale Papaya again, but you'll have to help me decide because maybe we'll end up using some of the Very Vanilla instead. So let's get some options. Okay, grabbing my paper cutter. Now, the thing about doing a card layout is that I did write some measurements here, but sometimes you don't necessarily have measurements and you're just kind of guessing. But that's not a bad thing because that means that you can make the card work for the designer paper that you have. So sometimes it's just a matter of like putting the paper here. This is already cut to 4 inches, and I kind of like the width of that. Maybe this might be a little bit longer than the paper that I had before, but I think that's going to work. And then I like the spacing where there's about 1 inch here, so I'm just going to kind of mark it with my finger and bring it over to my paper trimmer. I did put a little indentation there, which you can't see. And I'm going to do 3.5 inches. And then I am going to take just a little bit off, I think. I'm going to do, you know what? I'm just going to do a 3.5 by 3.5 inch square. Okay, so this is going to go over to the side of my card. I have my die cut that's ready to go. And to finish off this card, I need a sentiment. And so I'm going to cut a 1 inch strip. And this is where I need some help deciding. I kind of like the vanilla now that I just put it there. I was going to see if we wanted to do Pale Papaya, but I think that might blend in too much with the designer paper. I think so. So I've cut my pieces, and the stamp set, Daffodil Afternoon, buried. has a couple different greetings in here. And I love these images, but the stamps in here are only Happy Mother's Day and Easter blessings, which in the beginning of February just seems so far away. I guess the daffodils are a spring flower, so it makes sense to have Happy Mother's Day and Easter blessings. So I'm gonna choose Easter blessings, and then I'm also going to get out this the splatter stamp. And if you haven't seen this trick, this is how I put my stickers on. I put the sticker on the block, and then I peel off that paper backing, and then I've already peeled off the backing here. And I position the stamp, this with the sticky, okay, and I put that down, and I can see where I'm going, and then it's lined up pretty well. And the important thing is that the sticker and the block both stay completely flat, so there's no like wrinkles, bumps. You know, if you try to put it on a different way, sometimes if you're pinching the stamp, you can create some waves and it doesn't adhere quite right. Okay, I'm going to use black ink for the sentiment and pale papaya for the dots, just bringing in that color again, because remember I talked about how I like to include colors several times when I'm using them. So I did use pale papaya and flirty flamingo to color the flowers, and maybe I should use green because I only used green once, but I think pale papaya. I know I'll bring in green in a different way. So this is really subtle, but I love how it just adds a little, an extra little color to the sentiment. Oh, I was having trouble with this one earlier. I think it's just not on the block quite right. So I'm just going to do a little adjustment. Okay, Easter blessings. Oh, I think... Okay, I'm just gonna have to cut another piece. I wanted to have the words over a little bit so that I could have my my flower stem. So let's do this again. This was 1 inch by 4 inch vanilla, and this time we're gonna put it over here. Okay. Oh, yes. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh, whoops. I was thinking, I gotta close up these ink pads before I make a mess. And I don't know how well you can see. I made a mess. I do have emergency baby wipes. Well, actually, I have baby wipes and I have Lysol wipes to clean off my desk. So I'm gonna give that a quick wipe down. And we will get our card put together. I have an opportunity to bring the green in with an embellishment, and so I'm going to add some. I think we'll do like some genial gems. Maybe that's not quite the right green color though. Let's see what else we have in our arsenal of embellishments. I keep my embellishments in this like shoebox so that I can just sort of browse and see. Let's see. Oh, those are not current. I do have some retired things in here as well. You know what would be pretty is maybe using that Stampin' Blends to color some pearls. And then we can make it the color that we want. So we did this on the last card with the other dots, the resin dots. And so we'll do it again and make these green. So this designer paper piece again was 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. And this piece was 1 by 4. Uh-oh, looks like someone is having some problems with the video. Thank you, Nancy, so much for helping out. Margot, I'm not sure. You had problems last time too. Maybe it's a Wi-Fi or an internet issue. I hope that you can get back on okay and catch up. Eve says, hand sanitizer can also be used to clean up ink. Yes, I do have some hand sanitizer on my desk, and I often use that when I have it on my fingers, and I just do a quick little sanitizer in my hands to avoid getting ink on my project. Oh my gosh, I do love the way that this turned out. Okay, so I'm going to use some pearls to embellish. And I was thinking that I would color them green. Let's see what we think of that. Now I'm wondering if I should just leave them. Oh, that's pretty though, isn't it? Now here's a little tip. If you don't have a take your pick tool, you can use a pair of scissors to help you get the pearls off the project and transfer them to your card. That wasn't quite dry. We always talk about doing them in 3, so I'm gonna do 3, just adjusting there. Oh my goodness, I really love the way that turned out. I wasn't so sure. Well, definitely when I was making the project, I wasn't thinking about using the daffodils. I was actually thinking about using like the crane or maybe the pineapple from the Sale-a-Bration stamp set, but those daffodils are just perfect. And so you can make this same card using this layout and substitute other images that you have. Do you love it? We're having some fun tonight. Okay, so I was drawing this one, and that I just opened up the catalog and came across this sample. And so then I wanted to show you how the images are stamped on that designer paper. Although, like, now that I'm looking at it, I don't know that I want to necessarily make that card tonight. Like, I'm feeling really inspired by some of these other layouts. So let's put a pin in Artfully Composed. I guess I could just, well, I could talk you through it, right? Okay, so where's that paper? We had it out. Okay, so here you can see it's kind of blank, okay? And then, like, this one has the outline. And so the stamp image right there is what stamps on the designer paper. Isn't that cool? And then this other stamp you can see is sort of a fern, and that matches up with this one. So on this card, you can see that the outline is filled in, and that is filled in by that stamp. So you can stamp on the designer paper and the Artfully Composed using the coordinating Artfully Layered designer paper. That's something for another night. We'll definitely come back to that. Although speaking of layouts, oh gosh, I love this one too. Well, sometimes I write down like JJ, because this is the January through June mini catalog, and I'll write down the page number. So like if I want to see what the original card looked like, you know, or clarify some of the elements that I was trying to draw, then I can come back and I can see, you know, what it looked like. I definitely put more of an angle than I intended here, but I like this layout. I think that's kind of fun. And I'm going to save that one for next time, but let's do one with this layout. I recently, I think it was April, last night during our Stamp and Share, the team Stamp and Share I was telling you about, April used this Mischievous Mice stamp set. This is a stamp set that you can get for free, or you can choose when you host a party or place an order that's over $150. So when you order over $150, do not use the host code, because then you can choose your own Stampin' Rewards. And part of the Stampin' Rewards, there are special stamp sets that are only available to hosts, or, you know, to use with the Stampin' Rewards. And so these are the 2 stamp sets from the January through June mini catalog that you can get only with host rewards. So Mischievous Mice is one of them, and Expressions of Friendship. And you can see the host price is a lot less than the value of the stamp set. So this stamp set, if it was for sale, would cost $21, but hosts can use their host rewards and get it for just $12.50. So if you like either one of these, you definitely want to make sure to choose them with your Stampin' Rewards when you place a $150 order. I thought the mouse in the cheese was super cute, and so I'm going to use him tonight for a card. And I'll just put this together. I haven't used this stamp set before, so none of my stamps have stickers on them yet. So I'm going to do that same trick I was showing you earlier. I put the sticker on the black, and then taking the rubber, taking that paper backing off, and then I want to make sure that I'm putting it right side up. Center that over the stamp, and it's ready to go. All right. This is super cute, and it has it has a coordinating saying that says "Say cheese," so we definitely need to use that. Yeah, these host sets are in the very back of the catalog, so I think they're easy to miss. There's also some host sets in the annual catalog as well, and I will show you those really quick. So also in the back of the catalog, right here, Host and Earn. So we've got this one with the swan and the frog, and this beautiful Better Places, and then this texture one. So this is the actual size of the stamp, and then these are the same size but shown smaller. And then the other option in the annual catalog is the Pattern Party 12 by 12 designer paper, and this is like a double pack of 12 by 12 paper. There are 4 sheets each of 12 different designs, so it's huge. Actually, more than a double pack. That's like a quadruple pack. It's, yeah, normally designer paper that's 12 by 12 has 12 sheets, and this has 48 sheets, so it's huge. Anyway, next time you have a $150 order, you can choose from those Stampin' Rewards, including this cute little mouse. Okay, I really like this layout here, and I'm going to get that that tulip paper back out. There's a pattern in here, this one. It's on the back of that one, and I think it kind of like reminds me of cheese, don't you think? So I'm going to use this for the main layer, and then we're going to add, you know what I really love is gray. I think it's really pretty to do gray and yellow, so let's do Smoky Slate for the card base, and we'll also color our mouse the same color. So we'll incorporate that color again. Remember I said I always try to incorporate colors more than once. So the card base is a half a sheet of cardstock, and then this designer paper is the layer here, and I wrote down the measurement because I've made this one before, 2 3/4 inches by 4 1/4. Okay, and so that's gonna go like that. And then I'm going to use white piece for the focal point, and that is 2 by 3 1/2. Oh, is that going to be big enough? Nope. So I need to go a little bit bigger let's do 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. I think that'll work. And then how about a little bit of basic gray, a darker gray? And this is going to be 1 by 4. And just kind of like a little accent piece. So it's going to go underneath that. As I'm looking at this, I'm feeling like I want to make this designer paper be a little bit longer. So this was 4 1/4, and I'm going to go 4 1/2. I know that a 1/4 inch seems like it probably wouldn't be that much, but I think it is just perfect. Okay, now we're going to do some stamping and coloring. Let's do our Memento Black. Oh my gosh, we colored on every single card. Oh, that almost never happens. Although I did have the daffodils colored already, if that counts. Okay, I'm getting out. Oops, I really need to label these. Okay, dark Daffodil Delight and light Smoky Slate. Let's see, there's my dark Smoky Slate and my light Daffodil Delight. So let's start with the yellow. This is for the cheese, and I'm going to do the light color. I gotta slow down so I don't get the mouse. So I'm going to try to color around these holes as well and sort of keep those intact. So it looks like Swiss cheese. Or the mouse just ate. The mouse just ate all of the holes out. That's the tail. Let's go around there. This would be perfect for the March Great Big Card Swap. On Tuesday, I'll be showcasing the first part of the February card swap. And the theme for February is flowers. And the theme for March is animals. So this cute little mischievous mouse would be a perfect image to use for a March card swap. Have you guys ever participated in the Great Big Card Swap? It's so much fun. If you haven't, I'll include the information in the video description. So what happens is you send in a card, and in March, we're going to start limiting to just 1 card per person because it's been a little bit crazy trying to keep up with all the cards. So we're going to do 1 card per person starting in March, and you send in 1 card, and then I show all the cards that I receive, and then I send them back. So you send in 1 card and you get 1 card back, and it's kind of a fun surprise to see which of the cards you'll get. So if you haven't participated, I hope that you will join in the fun. And tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Time for the I'm like losing my words. The showcase of all the cards. Okay, so cute. I've colored in our little mouse, and I have the say cheese, but I kind of want to put the say cheese on like on a circle. I feel like to really mirror the circle that is happening with the cheese. Like, I cannot think of words today. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, let's get some yellow out. That was so saffron. Let's see if we have... Here's crushed curry. I think that's a good color. And I know that it's contraband, but I have my 1.5 inch circle punch. Right now we don't have circle punches in the Stampin' Up! Product offering. We do have layering circle dies, and so I would recommend those if you want some circles. We also have some shapes in the new Abstract Beauty die set. So if you're looking for some fun shapes, that could be a good one to get. Oh, I almost feel like that circle is too big though. I wonder if there is a smaller circle. There is. Let's do a smaller circle from the layering circles. This one would work. And we'll get Lucy back out. So, I mean, honestly, the layering circles is a better value because you get a lot more circle options and you get scallop circles. And you compare it with the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And so you get a whole bunch of different circles for a fraction of the price. If you were to buy all of these punches, that would cost so much. Okay, that little circle is perfect. It's just the right size. So let's finish up our card. I do want to add like a little bow. Let's get out some twine. I think a little twine bow is going to be perfect for a little mouse. Yeah, Catherine pointed out that the layering circle dies also takes up a lot less space than all those punches. There are, I was trying to see if there was a number. I don't know how many dies there are. A lot. I mean, at least 6 different sizes of scallops and 6 different sizes of plain circles. So a lot. Okay, well, I'm going to lose that one. I better put it back in there. Let's glue our card together. We have our designer paper. I'll put the measurements in the video description, but this piece is 2 3/4 inches by 4.5 inches. So I'm just going to center that right in the middle of my card. Now this piece of basic gray is 1 by 4, and I am going to add it to the back of the white, which was 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Well, I'll double check and put it in the video description. Don't get upset if I said it wrong. Check the video description. But honestly, we did make adjustments because the original size that I cut was, it was not big enough for the mouse. So you can always alter a little bit, make it bigger or smaller to fit your stamping image. All right, so stinking cute. We're going to grab another sheet of dimensional so I can use one that's already cut. I love it. Oh, did I actually stick it on there? I wasn't sure if I half stuck it on there. Then this is going to go on with a glue dot. I'm running low here, almost to the end of the roll, and I've lost my box. So let's stick the twine bow on the glue dot, and I kind of push down to attach it to the glue dot, and then I can transfer it to my card and put it right where I want it to go. Oh my goodness. It's so stinking cute. And again, when I sketched this out, I certainly wasn't thinking about the mouse. But when I came back to the sketch, I kind of had an open mind and I thought, okay, I want to use the mouse. Now, which you know, which card layout might work for the mouse. And so then that's how I picked it. Now here I've got all kinds of sketches. In fact, over here I've got sketches on grid paper. Like, this is how I design. I just draw things out as I see them, the different layers, and sometimes I add things like the circle and the bow. Sometimes I change things up. So here's this card that we made with the mouse, and then we did this one up here with the tulips. We made 3 cards tonight, and the last one wasn't a sketch. It was mystery stamping. So I hope that you enjoyed all of the projects that I shared tonight and that you're inspired to try one of them at home. I know that I was terrible about responding to your comments, so if I missed a question that you asked, I promise I will take a look at the comments and answer them as soon as I can. I hope that you have a fantastic night. Thank you so much for tuning in for Thursday Night Stamp Therapy. If you are a new watcher, we do this every Thursday night at 7:10 p.m. Central Time on Facebook, and then the video posts on YouTube shortly after. I will see you very soon on Sunday for Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie at noon Central Time. Mom and I are sharing some fun projects using different stamp sets, I think, this week from the mini catalog or annual catalog, and talking a little bit about the demonstrator opportunity. There's you can get 2 free stamp sets when you join during Sale-a-Bration. So if you have any questions about what it's like to be a demonstrator or how to join, then leave a comment and let me know on this post or reach out to me so Mom and I can answer your questions during our Sunday stamping video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to hit the like button or give me a heart on Facebook. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on future videos, and like and follow my page on Facebook. I'll see you next time. Happy stamping!